All right, let's get this started. Let's see. Camera, lights, camera, action. Um, we are welcome to another farming simulator live stream. We are continuing our run here on Elm Creek. I believe in the last, this is the last one that we did the grain mill here. I believe that's when we put that down, right? Yes, yes. Sorry, I've been doing a lot of, I actually recorded a bunch of episodes for the Zalanka run over the last few days, so I've got that fresh in my mind. But at least I got a good backlog of those episodes right now, so that should be good for a while. But before I get too far into this, I do want to say welcome and thank you for joining, whether you're joining the live stream or watching the VOD after the fact. Again, as always, I appreciate both groups. If you do like to see this type of content and want to see more of it, I mean, likes, comments, all that kind of stuff, subscriptions, all those things help the YouTube algorithm, and I appreciate them very, very much. All right, where did we leave off? I did add one tiny little mod, mostly because I added it for the Zalanka run. As you can see in the top right-hand corner, I got a little bit more information. It's like a detailed information mod for showing a little bit more information about kind of where we're at, the temperature, the year, and things like that. I use it for the Zalanka run because the Zalanka run, we're changing the crops that we run based on the year that we're in to simulate my children, you know, in that one growing up and eating different types of food. But I figured I'd leave it on for here because why not? It's kind of interesting to see how many years we've been doing this particular run as well. So we're already in year number 6. We're actually January of year number 6. So I guess, you know, what was it, 4.5 years behind us? Because I think you start in July, August, something like that at the very beginning. Okay, we got our chickens over here. We got eggs being produced. Obviously, we got some on the trailer over there. We do have our flour getting set up. Have we actually started doing flour? Do we have flour yet? We do have sorghum here, and we are producing flour already. Currently distributing, just so it doesn't spit it out without me wanting it to. So we're just going to go ahead and leave it on distributing. It's not actually distributing anywhere because we don't have anywhere for the flour to go. Although at some point we will want to get the bakery. It's very possible the bakery will be our very next purchase, actually. Anything else we want to do right this second? I don't think so. Eggs are looking okay. You're empty. We're in January, so obviously there's no grass or anything like that we got to deal with. No crops at the moment. I mean, I guess I can see if you are... I'm assuming there's nothing for you to drop off here. Nope. Looks like you're full. Chickens. I think we're ready to fast forward, actually, is what I think we're at. Let me just check a couple things. Nothing for us to drool over here too much. I do love this tractor that we got. I'm glad we went ahead and got it, although it is starting to look very dirty. Not quite clean and white anymore, huh? Do we have... What do we have in stock right now? We've got eggs. Obviously the flour. Still selling the strawberries regularly. We have no silage at the moment. We must have just sold some. That's right. January, the last thing I did at the end of the last stream was finish selling our silage, I think. And that might have been what gave us enough money for something I bought, probably. That might have been giving us the money for this thing. Come to think of it. All right, well, then I think we're ready to fast forward. The next time we got to do anything with crops is in April. We're going to be planting in April. And when do we sell our eggs? Those are really the only two things really that I have to worry about. Eggs are November, so we sold them recently. And I guess flour for now. We will be selling the flour until we get enough for the bakery. And that is in December. So we're actually going to go a full year before we have to worry about that. All right. I think it is time to fast forward. I feel like I'm missing something, but I think it is time to fast forward. Let's go. All right, a little bit of snow on the ground. Not too bad. Again, nothing to do with the grass at the moment while there's snow. We can go ahead and come over here and feed the chickens some more food. I assume we can. We're just not in the right spot. Didn't feel like we were that far off the where we're supposed to be, but it was not popping up. There we go. Okay, chickens are happy now. Happy, healthy, moving along. We have any eggs that we need to pick up yet? Not really. We're fine without those. And do we need to turn off the wheat or the flour yet? Not yet. We're looking good there. All right. Really nothing to do this month. I guess we can check the water, come to think of it. Water is okay for now. All right, let's fast forward. Easy month. Really hoping to get a lot done this episode or this live stream. Like I said, I'd really like to get the bakery down so that way we can maximize the flour value a bit more. Ideally, if we could get the bakery down before we sold the flour, which is possible because we do have almost a full year to make that much money, right? I think it's only what, $60,000, $65,000 to get the bakery, so definitely possible. All right, so we're in. Oh, actually, we're now in. Did I say year 6 a second ago in January? And now we're in year 7. I guess it's not counting from Jan. Oh, you know what? I know what it is. Yeah, the years don't start in January. This years start in March. So we are in year 7 now officially. Fair enough. All right. So we do have a bunch of eggs. Let's pick these up. Just for now. And check the chickens. Check the water. Chickens are okay. Water is okay for now. We will probably want to fill it up in a bit. Flour is full, but that is all the sorghum. So we can actually go ahead and turn this off. And we've got some flour ready to go. Hey, Braden. How's it going? Glad you could join. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And what did I say? March is no, April's sorghum planting time. So we'll plant in April, which is good because I think that lines up with when we need to mow as well. So while we're planting, we'll get the mowing done. Yep, that will work. And that is it. So I think that's it for March. I hate that we're still stuck with this little tiny thing. That's going to take us forever to get the planting done. I really would like to get a better planter. really would like to get a better, well, seeder. But it's just going to have to get the job done. You're enjoying the 70-degree weather. Spring is supposed to come in the next week or so. Wow. I'm in the, we're going to snow this weekend where I'm at. So not quite in the 70-degree weather yet, but it sounds nice. I mean, I do like the cold weather, so I'm okay with the cold weather for a bit longer. But I also, of course, 70-degree weather is nice weather. All right, let's fast forward to April. I still feel like I'm forgetting something, but I guess not. All of our stuff that we're selling is at the end of the year, so nothing really to look at right now. I mean, this planting section we're about to head into, it's going to take up half the stream. Not literally, but it's going to feel like it. Okay, let's grab you. Let's drop off some sorghum for now. Then we will unhook you and have you do the planter or the seeder. Not that it matters. Both tractors can handle the seeder just fine. Do we have more seed over here? I can just go ahead and top you off real quick. What is that over there? That is seed. Well, let's go get it started. Pretty sure we're still doing sorghum, right? There's no reason to swap out the sorghum now that we've got the flour. So yeah, I mean, at some point we obviously want to plant some sort of sugar-based crop, but for now, and of course we're going to switch the sorghum over to something that drops straw when we get our cows, but for now this is still okay. All right, let's get you rolling. You can unhook and go grab, I guess, the mower. I mean, I guess thankfully we only have the one field to mow right now, though it will come back and bite us a bit as far as not having that much silage this time around. All right, let me get you started real quick, and then we'll reassess where we're at. The worst age for a daughter is 13 to 15. It's the age of drama and stuff. Yeah, I have two daughters in that age range, actually. I have a 14-year-old and a 15-year-old currently. So I know exactly what you mean. What crops am I planting? We are planting sorghum and currently just grass. Grass and sorghum is the only two crops we're doing at the moment. Once we get the cows, that will change up a bit. And then again, like I said, at some point, we will need some sort of sugar crop. I mean, usually I do sugar beets when I need a sugar crop. I'm tempted to try to do sugar cane this time around just for something different. But sugar cane is so painful. So I don't know if I'll do that. Hey, Steven, how's it going? Howdy, howdy. Hopefully you're getting some sleep. Although I would imagine it's still early enough that you are probably not getting a ton of sleep. That doesn't come until around the 6 to 9 month mark where you can finally start getting some actual full night's rest again. All right, so we'll let you do one more row and then we'll start making you go vertical. I really, really, really want a better seeder. Like, really bad. Ooh, look, that little tractor. I mean, it's not something we need, so, but it's nice to look at sometimes. We'll keep our eyes peeled for a seeder at some point. Maybe. I mean, our seeder's worth like nothing, isn't it? Yeah, we might be able to get 25 grand for it once we fix it up. And our current new tractor, right, our white one can handle 210 horsepower. That's pretty good. So in theory, if we got one of these really nice seeders, I say really nice, but like one of these, like this one, which is double the width, we could definitely handle that. If we got this one for half price, it might be worth picking up at some point. Something like that. Do I play with mods? I play with mostly Giants mods. And what I mean by that is anything, if you go to the search screen and say search for Giants, anything that Giants themselves has made, I do have that for sure. So I've got all the DLC and I also have any mods that they've added on after the fact. There are a couple mods, not very many, that I've added in on top of the Giants ones though. Just a few. Not a lot of mods on this particular run. I do play with more mods on, for example, the Zelonka run, because I'm playing with a lease to own mod as well as a enhanced loaning system mod. So there's a handful of other mods that I throw in from time to time, but not very many. I don't play with very many mods otherwise. Like you can see here, it's all the Giants equipment, and then I've got the precision farming DLC and a bunch of these up here. I don't think I have very many mods in this list. I mean, there's some mods that aren't in this list, to be fair, but I don't have anything else that's not in this list is probably more cosmetic than anything. So not usually play with a lot of mods. The only other mod that I definitely use is the auto load mod. And the auto load mod I have to have because I would lose my mind if I didn't run that, to be perfectly honest. I did see a mod in the mod list yesterday that is like, it's kind of along the lines of what you're saying there, Braden, where it's like old equipment and stuff like that. And that might be kind of an interesting one to try out at some point. I've never thought about trying like really old equipment before, but I might be able to come up with a nice, interesting save for that. We'll see. Not anytime soon, but you know, someday maybe. Oh, the only other mod I do have is I have a free worker mod that I'm limiting myself to two free workers, because I have two sons, and if I was running an actual farm like this, they would help me on the farm. So I have that installed. So I'm allowed to have 2 workers running for free, and that's it. That's mostly just to speed up the live stream though, because normally when I'm doing the Let's Plays, we're pre-recorded Let's Plays, I can do all the in-between bits, and skip ahead so you guys don't have to see all the boring, like, tedious work. Whereas with the free mods, that just allows me to kind of keep things rolling a little bit quicker. PS5 right now. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't even know what PS version we're up to right now. I haven't owned a PlayStation of anything since the PS2. Maybe I had a PS3 once for like 5 minutes. Are we on PS6 now? I don't even know what what PS are we on right now. I have no idea. I don't play consoles, so I don't actually know what consoles are out there anymore. Don't pay attention to them. All right, you're cruising along. We're about to be done with the mowing, and then I can take over for some of the other stuff here in a minute. Do we want to bother? I don't think we're going to do the windrowing yet. I think we'll still wait. Honestly, I might just do the 3 mows and then the windrowing, and just deal with a little bit of a bigger pile than I'm used to. PS6 won't come out until 2. Okay, so yeah, it shows how much I know. I don't know anything about PlayStation anything. You could have told me we're on PlayStation 10 right now, and I would have believed you, because I have no idea. Thankfully, my kids have not asked for a PlayStation, so I don't have to worry about it. I do have Xboxes, you know, so that's the... Truth be told, I probably would... I do own it. I actually have multiple... I have like 3 Xboxes. And so I'm okay with, like, Microsoft, Xbox, stuff like that is probably what I'm more inclined to own than anything PlayStation related, so... Not that there's anything wrong with PlayStation, but I already have the Microsoft Game Pass for computer games, and so it helps me out on just having the Xbox for that stuff as well. And of course I own Nintendo Switches because I have children, and Nintendo and children kind of go hand in hand together. Not to imply that Nintendo is only for children, but they tend to have the most children-friendly games. All right, good stuff, Mr. Mower. I guess I'm going to have you work on getting some water for our greenhouses, because we know we're going to need some now. Yeah, I mean, I pay, what is it, $40 every 3 months for Xbox Game Pass? $50? I don't remember. Whatever it is, every 3. I pay every 3 months for it. And so, yeah, I guess it's what, 100, 120, 140. I don't remember exactly how much. Truth be told, stuff like that I just kind of ignore. So I pay some amount of money for Xbox Game Pass every year. I might do 6 months on the Game Pass, actually. I probably should double check to see if there is a yearly option, because obviously that would be cheaper. Usually the yearly options are the least expensive per month. What I really need is they were doing experimentation with a family Game Pass, which allowed you to have multiple, you know, devices utilizing the Game Pass in the same household. You know, because obviously families, I mean, that's kind of how that would work if you got children, which I do. Because if I want to play a game on my PC that's on the Game Pass, I have to tell my kids that they can't play the Xbox that day. So I would like to, I'm hoping they roll that out soon, because apparently they did a trial run of it a few months ago, and it would be nice to kind of get that option back again, so that I can have more than one system running the Game Pass games at the same time. I mean, really, the biggest reason to go with either a PlayStation or Xbox and kind of fall into one camp or the other, typically, is for the exclusives. Like if you already have an Xbox, there's no reason to buy a PlayStation unless you just want the exclusives off that, right? There's literally no point, and vice versa. And so I tend to align more with some of the exclusives on Xbox. There's more exclusive on Xbox that I enjoy than ones that are exclusively on PlayStation. Not to say there's never been anything on PlayStation that I wish I could play, but it just was never anything worth buying a PlayStation for. Now that being said, I mean, there's if some of those companies start getting away from the exclusives and start letting those be on all systems, then I kind of that might get rid of some of that, which is kind of interesting to think about. For example, I think I saw an article that said Microsoft was considering allowing the Indiana Jones that's currently exclusive to Xbox to also be able to be on PlayStation, which is an interesting decision. I don't know what the final decision on that was. They might have decided against it, but the fact that they were even considering it is kind of an interesting thought. Interestingly enough, most console manufacturers actually take a loss on the cost of the console. The console itself is not profitable at all. If it is profitable, it's very minimal, and most of the time, it's actually a loss for the company once you consider in kind of the research and all that kind of stuff. They get their games off of they get their money off the games, really. And of course, accessories. Accessories are huge profit margin. I used to actually manage a video game store, so I know. I mean, it's been a while, so I may not be up to date on the newest consoles, but I do know, how the whole console kind of industry and all that kind of side of things works because of that. And like I said, yeah, consoles were like zero profit whatsoever, zero profit, but the accessories and the video games are huge profit, usually. How many subs do I have? I have like almost 13,000 subs, I guess. Oh, hey, Ghosting. How's it going? Oh, I appreciate that. Yep, I got affiliate on Twitch, which is awesome. I mean, I haven't gotten any subs yet, but that's okay. I'm not in a hurry. Honestly, just having the affiliate, I'm happy with that. I'm good to have that. And anything from there is icing at this point. Oh, you got affiliate a few days ago as well. Congratulations. Wow. We actually got our affiliates around the same time then, right? Yeah, almost the same day, I think. We got our affiliates. That's awesome. Congratulations. It's a process. I mean, it's a step in the right direction for sure. I'm going to be honest with you, Brayden. I would prefer you not just keep spamming random words. It makes no sense. Please? Yeah, 1st of February. Yep, I think that's almost exactly when I got mine. So yeah, good stuff. Wait, are we the same people, Go Ghosty? Because I'm like on 75 followers. Which again, a large chunk of my followers I think are bots. But actually that might not be entirely true anymore, because I've gotten a lot of followers from some of those raids recently, which I think you were there for. So yeah, we have like, we get affiliate at the same time, we're getting the same number of followers. Apparently we're the same person and I just didn't even know it. I have no idea what you're saying, Braden. I'm sorry. A younger me. There you go. Truth be told, I would not surprise me if you do end up being a bit more successful on the streaming side of things than me. Because I put most of my focus on the YouTube videos, right? The streaming is kind of more of a side effect. Oh, wow. Rom Coda, thank you. That is massive. I really appreciate that. My first sub. Congratulations. You will be forever known, Rom Coda, as my first subscriber on Twitch. You will go down in the history books. the Broyar streaming history books. I really appreciate that. Thank you. All right, let's drop some more water. Oh, you put about 6 hours a day into stream? Okay, yeah, there you go. Yeah, 100%. You should be more successful. I agree. I agree. I mean, if I was ever able to make YouTube/Twitch a job someday, then yes, I would definitely put a lot more hours into streaming, for sure. But I still have to have a day job, so... Sad but true. And honestly, here's the sad thing about my day job. And I say sad. I mean, take this very, very loosely. It is not sad at all. But the longer it takes for me to get to a point where I'm able to make YouTube, Twitch a full-time job, the more successful I get at my day job, which means it's harder for me to make that transition, right? It's hilarious. When I started my job 10 years ago, you know, I made a lot less money. It would have been easy to make that transition. Now I make quite a bit more money. And so it's like, there's no way. I can't imagine the day that I would ever be able to switch from my day job to full-time Twitch and YouTube. I would have to make, unfortunately, a pretty large amount of money. And I'm not saying that to brag. I hope it doesn't come across that way. I've been very fortunate in my job. But again, after a decade, you would imagine that, you know, if you're at a decade for the same job or your same company, you know, anybody's going to be making some pretty decent money after that amount of time, I would say. Plus, I'm a computer programmer, and computer programmers obviously make reasonably good money. I do have a nice setup, but again, the good thing about, I guess that's part of the side effect of having a nice job, a nice day job, is that I can spoil myself with nice gadgets and things. So that is true. That is true. But I will say this, a nice setup can add quality to your stream and videos, but by far the most important thing is personality. And it's very likely that you have a better personality than me. So I don't mean that way. I don't mean like in a weird way. Like your personality might be more conducive to a larger audience. I have a very probably niche audience, you know, probably a little bit older most of the time, or, you know, kind of guys that like the strategy games and things like that. Whereas you might be more of able to kind of be more in find favor with some of the younger audience, which there's a lot of those guys. Most of the people that watch Twitch and YouTube are, you know, younger. And I'm not saying there can't be crossover. Of course there can be crossover. But I have a feeling you have more potential to be more successful quicker, which is fine. I mean, I think there's nothing wrong with that. I think it's awesome. And congratulations. Truth be told, I feel really bad. I meant to go check out your streaming channel, and I'm going to write it down. I'm so busy all the time, so I forget these things. I need to write down, go check out Goat Ghosty's streaming channel, because I would like to. I meant to, and I've just been busy, and I haven't really done much of anything lately. But I absolutely want to check out what you got going on, because I think it'd be cool. Can't catch every live stream that you want due to live, but I love the content and the family-friendly content creator. Being a Christian, it's hard to find someone who doesn't cuss every other word. Keep it the good work. God bless. I appreciate that. Thank you. God bless you as well, Ramkota. I really do appreciate it. Oh, you actually have the first badge. It actually gave you a badge for being first. That's awesome. That is a badge you could carry forever. But I really appreciate the support. And yeah, I do try to keep my stuff family-friendly. Again, personally, that does not mean I watch people that are maybe less family-friendly. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm an adult. I can watch other people. So no judgment there whatsoever. But I do personally like to keep mine as family-friendly as possible because my kids watch my stream. Actually, there's a reasonably good chance that my daughters are watching my stream right now. If you are, wave. Hi, go get your homework done. But my daughter was watching my stream last Wednesday, actually, I think, for a little bit, which is pretty cool. That's a good feeling to know that your kids are enjoy watching, something like this that you do, which is really cool. I'm not sure if you're making a joke, Braden, or if you're being serious. I can't tell you why there's random stuff being typed out on your under your name. I don't know. Oh, the first 10 subs get a founder badge? Ooh, that's pretty cool. Can I sub to myself? I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. That's awesome, though. That's really cool. Oh, I can give subs to myself. That's funny. It's true. I hadn't thought about gifting subs, but yeah, that does make sense. All right, how are we doing on the water? I'm just so distracted, which is a good thing. That's the fun part of streaming, is that I can be distracted in a nice way by talking to you guys, which is really cool. One thing I do wish, if I ever was able to make YouTube or like specifically streaming more of a full-time job, then I would be able to stream earlier in the evening, which would probably mean I would get more people watching. So it's kind of a weird catch-22 that because I can't stream early, I probably miss out on a lot of potential, subscribers and viewers. But I can't stream early until I get more subscribers and viewers so that I can quit my day job. It's a weird catch-22, but it is what it is. I guess the way I look at it is everything will work out the way it's supposed to, and that's okay by me. I'll keep doing what I'm doing, and eventually it'll either work out or it won't, and that's all good. I think I mentioned last stream or the stream before that, I've actually started seeing a therapist recently, and I don't mind admitting that because I think everybody probably has a little bit of a, life is tough. And I think therapy does not necessarily have to be a stigma where, oh, there's something wrong with you. It's just life is tough. And if we all get absorbed in our own brains, then we can kind of tend to view ourselves in more harsh terms than what the world sees us. Like, for example, I'm very hard on myself. I often think that I'm not good enough for XYZ or I make too many mistakes and things like that. And that really gets to me. And so therapy's definitely been helping me kind of realize that's not true. Like, I can be my own worst critic in a lot of ways. But anyway, all that being said, one of the most recent topics of conversation I've been talking about with my therapist is how do I define success? Because for the long time, I've kind of almost considered myself a failure on the YouTube side of things, even though I have, 12,000 subscribers and, whatever, I'm making, a little bit of hobby money off of there because it's not where I want it to be. I've almost kind of viewed that as a sign of failure, which is not true. And I think it's a matter of redefining what success means to me. And that's been helping a lot, actually. Because truth be told, a lot of people do watch my content. A lot of people watch my content. I think I've mentioned this before. My dad is a pastor. He's a minister, and that's kind of how I was raised. I'm a preacher's kid, and I guarantee you more people have watched me play video games than have, like, by the thousands, than have ever watched him, you know, preach or in a sermon or anything like that. And he's preached for many years, so he's preached to a lot of people. But, you know, that's kind of humbling to think that there's a lot of people that have watched me play something as simple as a video game, which is part of the reason why I want my content to be, you know, as family friendly as possible, because I'd like to be a positive influence to people as much as possible. But it's a lot of pressure, but it's also very humbling to think about that many people watching and enjoying the content that you do. I've had a number of people, in fact, some of you might be in the channel, I don't know. I've had a number of people who have commented and said they've watched me while they're doing their cancer treatments, or, you know, they had some injury that made them bedridden and they've been watching my stuff. And that's really cool to hear, that somebody chooses to watch you to kind of help pass the time in a difficult time period. It's really, really cool and really humbling. Hey, oh man, I'm going to mess up your name. Alameo. Alameo? I know I'm messing that up. I apologize. But yeah, good night. I appreciate that you jumped in, and hopefully I can catch you again sometime. All right, so we got finished with the water, and I was mostly doing that because I really don't want to do the seating. Brazil. Oh, that's right. That's right. I remember you mentioned being from Brazil. That is pretty cool. I would love to go to Brazil. I've been to Colombia. Which I realize is not Brazil. It's the only place in South America I've been is Colombia. But I think Brazil would be fun. I would love to go to Brazil. Oh, which, by the way, I'm assuming you're getting ready for Carnival coming up soon, because I actually work with some guys in my company from Brazil. And I know that they were talking about how they're going to be gone, I think next week or whatever it is, for Carnival, which is pretty cool. That's got to be a lot of fun. Watch that. That's got to be pretty cool. Watch me late at night because you suffer from insomnia. It's mostly the reason you stay up at night. Oh, it's 2:37 a.m. right now for you? Wow. I mean, I stay up till about midnight or 1 a.m. myself. So I usually finish streaming around 10 p.m. and then I'm up for a couple hours after that. So I do stay up late myself. I get that. I'm very much a night person more than a morning person. But yeah, 2:37, that's crazy. That's awesome. I appreciate that you joining though and sticking around this late. South side of Brazil, very cool. I bet Brazil is beautiful, man. I bet there's a lot of really beautiful places in Brazil. That's something that I just love, and this is going to sound so goofy probably. I love the world. Like, and that sounds so weird to say. I could go anywhere in the world probably and find something that I enjoy. I love the mountains. I love the beach. I like the cities. I don't want to live in a city probably, but I would love to visit some cities and kind of look at the architecture and stuff like that. I like architecture. I like museums. I like going for hikes. Like, I don't know. I just think there's so much fascinating stuff in the world that I could literally go anywhere and probably just have an amazing time. The idea of traveling, I guess, is really what I'm getting at. I would love to travel all sorts of cool, amazing places all over the world. I mean, I've been very fortunate that I have traveled more than most, but there's so many other places I would love to go to. I am from currently Colorado. I get to live near the beautiful mountains of Colorado, but I used to live in Texas, which was hot and flat. Well, a little hilly where I was at, but mostly flat. But I've lived all over the United States. I lived in Arkansas. I lived in North Carolina. I've lived in, I technically lived in Oklahoma for a very brief period of time. I've lived all over Texas. I used to live in the Rio Grande Valley, which is an interesting experience. Very, very hot down there. And then, but I've also traveled, like I said, I've traveled to Europe. I've traveled to the Bahamas. That was cool. I've traveled to, like I said, South America. I've never been to, I would love to go to Australia someday. That's on the bucket list. I would love to go to, I mean, honestly, as a Christian, as growing up in church, I would love to go to Israel someday. Probably not a good time to go right now, but someday it would be cool to go, you know, just for me personally. Yeah, I love to travel. I love to travel. I'd like to go back to Europe actually as well. When I went to Europe, it was over 20 years ago now, if that tells you anything about how old I am. I'm very old at this point. And I would love to go back to Europe. That was one of my favorite experiences of all time, for sure. San Diego. Oh, your sister lives in Denver. Cool. Yeah, I go to Denver from time to time for various reasons. I don't live in Denver, but I do. It's not too far away. But yeah, San Diego. I've never been to California. I have been to Vegas. That's the furthest west I've been, I think, is Vegas. Never been to California, though. Yeah, I appreciate the support, Ghosty. Really do. And obviously, I think you benefited. I think you were here last week when I got raided, weren't you? And then didn't some of those guys kind of help watch you as well? But getting those 2 raids last week from when I was playing Football Manager, that was huge. That's really what put me over the affiliate mark. That was really, really a nice, I mean, that was amazing. I was so glad to get that. That was really cool. A very nice day indeed. Oh, he came into your chat today, and that's awesome. Congratulations, man. That's seems like a good community. I mean, if that community watches them and then they can bridge over to, you know, you or whatever, that's pretty cool. That's a good, nice way to get some good followers and stuff. I think the most important thing to remember about, from a streaming side of things, is that every streamer, even the big ones, started with one person, right? Like, it seems so painful to start with so small, but everybody started small, so. Hopefully you get really big someday, Ghosty, and I can be like, I knew that guy when he was small, and that'll be cool. That'll be awesome. I realize I'm being boring right now because I'm letting this guy do everything and I'm not doing anything. But I was enjoying talking to you guys, so I felt like, why not? Oh, I need to get another seeder. That thing is so slow. Should I just windrow now because I have time? Let me look at the schedule for a second. Okay, because I need a mow again in July and then October. And in July we will see, we don't harvest sorghum until August. And then there's nothing going on in October. It's all right. Actually, the best thing to do would be to mow. Now would be the best time to harvest a full year's worth of grass. That's actually true. I hadn't thought about it that way. It's just mow in July, mow in October, and don't actually bale until April. That doesn't mean I'm sitting on silage bales for like most of the year for no reason. That's probably not the greatest move. Wouldn't mind going to Hawaii someday. Actually, probably before Hawaii would be Alaska. I'd probably rather go to Alaska before Hawaii. And I realize those are 2 completely different places, but like outside continental United States, if I had to choose, it probably would be Alaska first. But Hawaii would be cool someday. That'd be awesome. And there's other places in the United States that I want to visit. I want to go see Mount Rushmore. I want to go see the Grand Canyon. I want to go see Yellowstone and Yosemite National Parks. Those would be cool. You gained 4 followers per day right now. That is actually very impressive, Ghosty. That is really cool. Oh, I mean, it doesn't sound like much, honestly, from one angle, but that's a good number. That's a really good number. That's actually about how many subscribers I'd gain per day on YouTube. So that's actually really good. It's a good start, at least. I mean, and then obviously that'll continue to accelerate as you get bigger and bigger. All right, so let's get you moved over to the other field. Views bring views. That is true. Views bring views. If YouTube had not changed their algorithm a little bit, because it used to be several years back that subscribers was a very big component of the algorithm for YouTube bringing people to your channel. Now it's not like subscribers do nothing. They still do something, but it is a much less impact than it used to be. If it was subscribers, I actually think I would do much better, right? Because I actually have a decent amount of subscribers. But because it's other things that go into it, it's what kind of, I kind of lose that a little bit of an advantage, unfortunately. Oh, I know I'm being boring by sitting here watching this guy do this, but I just don't like doing the seating. But we do have the GPS. I guess I could just roll with the GPS. Why not? Let me let him do the header, and then I'll probably take back over. So I'm at least doing something instead of just sitting here. I need to start playing Angry Birds on my phone, so I have something to do. Just kidding. Find a game. I need a mod for Farming Simulator that allows me to play little goofy games like Tetris and things in Farming Simulator while my workers are doing stuff in the background. Oh, I don't know if I remember how to... I know I did it like last week or the week before, but I don't know if I remember how to do the GPS thing again. I'll have to look up the controls again. The seed rate for sorghum is actually very low. Like, he's used 9% of his stuff, and he's already done a whole full field. That's a very low seed rate. All right, let's see if I can remember how to do the GPS. That will help me make sure that these lines are nice and straight. Let's go down here to controls. GPS is... I really should just memorize this so I can just do it more often, but I don't actually have the GPS stuff set up on my other save, so because obviously it costs money. Control Shift G and F. All right. All right, so we got it turned on, and then I need to load a track, so Control G. So we are. Did we already have it still saved? Ah, we do still have it saved. So set A. You're a little bit off the line, sir. Is it because you started at the other side? Why are you off the line? Can I reset this? Control G. Set A. I think it's 90 actually, isn't it? Nope, 90's the other way, so it must be 270. That's still off the line. All right, well, whatever. Oh, there we go. There we go. Now it fixed it. There we go. All right, so now we lower the seeder, turn on the seeder, and... Oh, how do we actually... I don't remember how to actually line up. Control Shift F. There we go. And now we... There we go. I think I figured it out. Got it. When there's a will, there's a way. It's too cold in Colorado right now. Yeah, I mean, we're going to get snow this weekend. So it is pretty cold. I like the cold weather. And the cool thing about Colorado is it's very sunny. So there could be snow on the ground, and I could be walking around barefoot outside because the sun is actually very warm, like on you. Like, I'm not walking around in the snow barefoot, but I could be walking around on the sidewalk because the sidewalk might have warmed up a bit. It's really a weird dynamic. It kind of messes with your mind a little bit. You do 2 streams a day right now, only recently. I think I might do the FIFA for the first stream and FM for the second. FIFA is a lot of talking. It's normally when my whole family's awake. And F is not a lot of loud talking. Some of my family sleep around. Oh yeah, that's a good idea. I need to try FIFA someday. I probably would enjoy FIFA if I ever tried it. I just haven't really gotten into it, you know? Is FIFA on the Game Pass? Microsoft Game Pass? I think it might be, or at least an older version of it might be. Oh, I didn't realize I was still... Sorry, little cedar. I got distracted, and I was not paying attention. All right, so Control Shift F. Oh, Shift F. And... Oh, come on. There we go. I'll get it figured out. It's a rhythm. I got to get the rhythm down. And as I say that, I forgot to lower the thing again. I appreciate that. I appreciate that, Alameo. And again, I apologize if I'm saying your name incorrectly. I'm very bad with names. I'm very good with languages. Like if I learned, certain languages, I can usually pronounce them learn the pronunciations very quickly. I don't know Portuguese, obviously, which I'm assuming your name is Portuguese. That's a strong assumption. But I don't know I know Spanish, at least well enough that I could probably pronounce the words. I don't know Spanish in the sense of I would know what anybody's telling me if they were talking to me. I've been learning Ukrainian lately, which is very interesting. Mostly because I've always wanted to learn a language that does not use, regular English characters, if you will, And so something like Jewish would be fun, or Hebrew, Jewish. Hebrew would be cool, but I decided to go for Ukrainian because it's just, I don't know, it's just something different and interesting. And that's been a lot of fun. And I can read Ukrainian pretty well right now. I feel like I can pronounce it pretty well. So I'm pretty good at pronunciation once I know how the letters should be pronounced. But trying to just randomly look at a language and figure it out, there's no way. Like in my football manager where I'm playing in Turkey, I'm just making up pronunciations at that point. I don't know what half those letters actually stand for. I am learning via Duolingo. That is true. It's not the most perfect way to learn a language, but it's pretty good. And so, yeah, I'm learning via Duolingo. The cool thing about Duolingo is that it gamifies learning, which is awesome, right? Turning anything to a video game is a great way to help people to learn, in my opinion. Oh, I took that corner a little too tight. Sorry, telephone pole. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Duolingo's good. It works. I mean, it's no replacement for actually getting into a community or whatever, a culture, and actually talking to the people that live there. That's where you're really going to learn, because you're going to learn all the nuances and things like that. But it's a good way to get started, at the very least, and it definitely helps. We live in an interesting world that has language learning at your fingertips like that. I mean, it's cool. I mean, I guess Rosetta Stone's been around forever, right? But it's just a different... Like, I remember getting cassette tapes, right? Good old school cassette tapes to learn Spanish many years ago. And so that was just an interesting way to go about it. I was going to look something up. I was going to look up to see if FIFA was on Game Pass, because now I'm curious. Is FIFA on Game Pass? FIFA 23 is on Game Pass. Okay. Well, there you go. FIFA is on Game Pass. Yeah, I probably could learn Portuguese pretty... I say easily. I could probably learn it without massive trouble, because I actually think I was learning Spanish pretty well, and I realized they are different languages, but there's some similarities enough that I think I could learn the Portuguese, I guess is what I'm kind of getting at. I don't mean to insult, people that speak Portuguese by saying that they're the same as Spanish, but I think it's kind of like, that's the wrong button. Come on. There are certain languages that there's some similarities that you can start kind of piecing things together quite nicely, I guess is my point. Oh, forgot to lower it again. I'm distracting myself. There's also a lot of words in languages, especially newer words, like modern words, that are the same or are very similar in each language, right? Like, if you know it in English, the Spanish word is just, or you know, whatever, might just be like a little bit of a Spanish flair to the English word, which is pretty funny. It's pretty cool though. I figured it was different, but I guess maybe what I meant was, I think like like some of the letter pronunciations I would imagine are at least similar enough that, I mean, the words themselves are obviously different, but I might be able to pronounce some of the letters and letters a little bit more. Maybe I'm completely wrong. Maybe I'm completely off base, but I just feel like there's some similarities I've noticed in certain languages, even though the words themselves are different. Yeah, some words. Like I said, yes, it's a little bit of a. I mean, I don't know enough to know how many words would actually be similar enough to matter. I know sometimes people say that English is one of the hardest languages to learn because everything's just so weird and random and different for us, which is so. I don't know how true that actually is. I feel like there's some other languages that are really hard, but I guess we do have some very strange rules about some of our words that just make no sense at all. I do think one of the interesting things is that English doesn't have a concept of like gender terms, right? Many languages have some sort of gender related terminology that we just don't really have anything like that. I'm not sure if that makes it easier or harder, actually. And obviously, in the world we live today, some of that might be going away at some point. Oh, good night. Have a good evening. It's almost midnight. It's almost tomorrow for you. So have a good evening for what's left of it. Thank you. So the newest one is 24. Okay. Oh, that's right. Is it called FIFA still, or did they? Am I thinking of something else that they had to change the name of for some weird licensing reasons? Is it FIFA that had to change the name for licensing reasons? I can't remember now. Is that a real number? Billion with a B? What? That's a lot of money. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm sure EA's making a ton of money off that game. It's a very popular game. That is a lot of money, though. Wow. Licensing, my goodness. I mean, I get it. But still. Like the fact that, you know, certain teams in Football Manager have to be called some really goofy names because their actual name is licensed. It's like, who are you helping there? You know? I mean, the team, I get it. It's their name. They have a right to copyright it and license it and all this other stuff. I get it. But it kind of just looks bad, right? We're going to call you something goofy because you won't let us license your name. And that just in my mind, it kind of makes it just look worse for the team than if they just let them have it, or at least have it for cheaper. $1 billion. That is a lot of money. Wow. Apparently unless I just read what I read wrong, you can get it on Game Pass if you get Game Pass Pro, I guess, which I don't know if I have Game Pass Pro or not. But it's not on the standard Game Pass, it looks like. The FC24 isn't. Still, I might try out FIFA 23. Why not? I mean, if I like that, then I would know that I would like the other. $300 million sounds a little more realistic, at least. Oh, you can't play FM at all because of the naming rights? Like, even though they have the licenses? I'm assuming, like, because obviously FM, I assume, has permission to use most of the stuff. Although I guess there's some smaller teams that they might not have permission for. So you can't play it all because of the licenses. Wow. That's interesting. I mean, different countries have different copyright rules. That is true. I do know about that. Yeah, I mean, FM's a good game for sure. That's. I mean, I can't say much because I'm very fortunate, I guess, to live in the country that I live in. That there's very few things that are just disallowed. Like, the crazy thing about America is that it's actually illegal to make things illegal in a weird way. Like, it's not entirely true, but it's like if somebody disallowed Football Manager for XYZ reason, that company would just get sued or something, you know? So it's a very... There are definitely some cons for living in America. I will admit that. Not everything's perfect, but there are definitely some, I guess, some nice bonuses of being here, and I'm very fortunate, I suppose. Not that I chose to live here. I mean, I did not choose to be born here, but, you know, it's one of those things. We definitely have our problems, though. That is true. I'm not going to get into the problems right now. Most of our problems are very political. So I try to leave that in a corner and just leave that alone. Man, it's going to take us... I think I said this last stream. It's going to take us an hour and a half just to seed our 2 fields. Oh, the seeder is so painful. That's true. Yeah, the UK is pretty similar. That is true. Actually, there's certain things in the UK that are more that are different in certain ways that are very interesting. For example, like my wife works with a lot of people in the UK from a human resources standpoint, and there's certain restrictions around firing people, like getting fired from a job in the UK. If I understand something like that, you have to have like certain amounts of notice that you're going to get fired or something weird like that. I don't remember. I might be getting the details way wrong, but it was something very interesting. That's like, oh wow, we don't even have that in the United States. Like we have definitely very much at will terminations all over the place in the United States. But there was like some rules around terminations in the UK that were just even more protective than even us, which was a little surprising actually. Yeah, it's so. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. I don't know if I have an opinion either way. Like I could definitely see the argument for both sides of that, and whatever. It is what it is. It would be nice to live in a country that I knew that I was going to have a little bit of notice if I was going to get laid off, but it is what it is. I want to go to England someday. That's definitely on the bucket list as well. 100%. I definitely want to go to England someday. When I went to Europe last time, we chose not to go to England only because we wanted to go to the countries that didn't speak English, so that it'd feel a little bit more exotic, I guess. We decided to leave England off the list just because it was like, you know, whatever. But the funny thing about that is we met so many people that spoke English in all the other countries. It was like, oh, well, then why did we leave that off the list? It would have been the same thing. It does give you time to get another job, which is really good. That is true. That is very true. I mean, I've been at my company long enough that if they did choose to lay me off, I would probably get a pretty nice severance package, which gives me time to find another job as well. Truth be told, it's part of the reason why I'm less inclined to go looking for another job. Because I'd rather they just fire me instead of me looking for another job. Because at least I get whatever severance I've accrued over a decade of working there. I don't even know how much it is. It may not be that much. I don't know. My suspicion is pretty generous, though, but who knows? That's a good point. I guess I'll call you Lamy? Lamy? Ooh, I'm going to say that now wrong. You told me that it was easier to pronounce, and I just found 2 ways to pronounce your last name or second name. I actually don't know. That's something I have learned, that other countries, the second name is not necessarily your last name. But anyway, I'm going to say Lamy. Oh, I'm going to say that wrong. I'm already screwing it up. I apologize. It doesn't matter. The point I was going to get at is that is true. There's a lot of countries that are beautiful and they have a lot of good things going for them, but also safety is just not quite at the same level. I mean, don't get me wrong. The United States has our own safety concerns for various reasons, but for the most part, we are significantly safer than a lot of places. I mean, there's definitely exceptions, just like anywhere, but there is definitely a lot of good things going for us. I gotta stop trying to pronounce people's names. I'm just gonna screw it up. I mean, my last name is not easy to pronounce, though, so I get it. I get people pronouncing my last name wrong all the time. But I'll be honest, it doesn't really bother me that much. I'm just like, okay, yeah, it's kind of a weird name to pronounce. I know what you mean. It's no big deal. But I hate pronouncing other people's names wrong. I feel like I'm insulting them, which I do not want to do. Is it really? Is UK really an unsafe place? That is not something I would associate with the United Kingdom, to be honest. I mean, I realize that there's places in the UK that are unsafe, just like anywhere, but as a general blanket term, I would not have thought of UK as being unsafe. I don't know. I've never been there, so I'm obviously very ignorant to the true nature of things, but yeah, that's not something I would have thought of. Really? Okay. Well, interesting. Oh, don't get caught. There we go. Oh no, I turned it off. Did I just turn it off? I did turn it off. There we go. Knife crime is very big. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, I'm hesitant to make a comment about guns, but the only comment I will make is that, not saying that you should or should not get rid of guns. I'm not saying that at all. All I will say is that just because you get rid of guns does not mean that crime goes away and people don't stop hurting each other. And I think UK is a very good example of that. Now, you could argue that people would be able to hurt people less easily with knives as opposed to guns, but it doesn't mean that suddenly people are like, oh, I can't have guns. Well, then I'll be a well-behaved citizen all of a sudden. This is not going to work that way. Bad people are bad people, no matter what kind of weaponry they are allowed in their hands. It's unfortunate. All right, see you later. Thanks for coming by. Isn't Switzerland one of the most per capita gun whatever? They have more guns per capita than just about anywhere, I think. I think that's the case. Which is strange because obviously you think of Switzerland as being very, like, it's not something I would associate with Switzerland at all. But that's just kind of, I don't know. I don't know why. It's just how I would not have thought of Switzerland as being very gun heavy. I mean, I guess the term per capita is the key part of that. It's not like Switzerland has a massive population, so it would probably be very easy to have more guns per capita than anywhere else just because of their size more than anything. I've been to Switzerland though. Switzerland was cool. I really liked Switzerland a lot. It was very clean. Like, that was the thing that struck me the most by Switzerland is where I went in Switzerland, very clean. Like, you literally saw the guy sweeping up the dust off the sidewalk, putting it in a dustpan so he could throw it in the trash. Like, it wasn't even about, like, you don't just sweep the dust off the sidewalk and throw it into the street. You literally put it in a dustpan and put it in the trash. It was very interesting. And we were staying at a campsite, right? We had a tent at a campsite there. Oh, sorry, I just forgot to lower it again. And the bathroom at the campsite in Switzerland was probably the cleanest public restroom I have ever been to in my life. It was like, hey, this is cleaner than my own house. It was a very clean country. Again, at least the part I went to specifically. I don't even remember where I went in Switzerland, to be perfectly honest. I'd have to look it up on a map to see if I could figure it out again. I don't even remember where I went. I mean, we went to Neuschwanstein, Germany, right? And we went to Milan and Florence, Firenze, I guess is how they call it, in Italy. Went to both those places. We went to, where else did we go? And again, this has been 2 decades, more than 2 decades now. It's been a while. Like, I didn't go to any of the big cities. I went to like a small, like, area in Switzerland. I don't know if I will ever remember where it was. I mean, Milan is close to Switzerland, so it was probably, because I think I left from Milan. So it was probably near-ish, kind of north, just a little bit north of Milan itself. So I could probably find it on a map again if I looked hard enough. I remember there being a lake, which, not saying much. I'm sure there's lots of lakes in Switzerland, but I do remember that at least. Why do I keep not putting the thing down? Put it down. There we go. I did go to... What was that country that I went to? Not Luxembourg, was it? No. It was... Oh, I don't remember the name of it now. Or was it Luxembourg? I don't think it was Luxembourg. Maybe it was. Maybe I did go to Luxembourg. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. Yeah, I don't know. I need to retrace my steps someday, because that was a really fun trip. I actually got very sick in Switzerland. And, I don't remember what happened. Like, I got really sick and I had to, like... I think we went back to Milan because my friend that I was traveling with, his sister lived in Milan at the time. Now, I want to say we went back to Milan. And I slept for 2 days of our trip just to kind of recover. And then we continued on from there, which means we did have to cut out Spain. We were going to do Spain as part of our trip, but because I got sick, we ended up having to cut that out and just went back to Paris like a day early or something like that. Which was sad, but pretty sure Spain will be there still whenever I go back. So it's not like I can't go back someday. Hey, we're almost done with seeding finally. Very, very, very long process. And we haven't even used 20% of the seed yet. Sorghum does not use much seed. All right. Good stuff there. Let's get this dropped off and we can finally move on with our lives. You know, I haven't checked the lime in a while. I probably should have checked it before we... Oh, no. Did we put lime on there already? I think we might have put lime on. I vaguely remember it being white when I rolled over it just now. Let's see. Let's check the lime. We do need to buy the soil information for these other fields again soon. But I think the lime is mostly okay. Alrighty. Anything else we need to do this month? No, right? And what did I say flour was due? January. So the next thing we're going to sell will be eggs in November. Okay. That sounds good. We'll have to fertilize everything next month, so that'll be our next task. Ooh, nice semi-truck. I don't know if we'll ever get to the point where we can afford a semi-truck on this particular run, but it would be cool. All right. Guess it doesn't really matter which one we use. We'll just use you. All right, how you doing that? Let me check the chickens. Chickens are okay. How is the water we just filled up, so the water should be fine. Yep, we're still all right. Doing all right. Get our little tractor repaired soon. Actually, I think both tractors need to be repaired soon. Kind of want to try and save a little bit of money, though, and hope that we don't have to do it right away. But we can't wait too long. Would really, really, really like to get the bakery. It's 50,000, so we're not far off. Yeah, it would be nice. Because 30,000 liters of flour sells for what? 20,000 bucks. But if we turn that into bread, I think it's 2 to 1. So I think it would bump us up another 10K at least. I want to say it's two flour to 1 bread, if I remember right. It's been a while though. We do have $20,000 worth of eggs right now, so it's close. What's this time? Actually, what's the month to sell bread? Because that might dictate if we pull the trigger. And that's just December, so it doesn't actually matter. If we can get the flour, if we can get a bakery down early enough, which we have a few months, then. Now, I was going to say, would we get it if we got it done in November when we sell the eggs? Would we have time to get bread done? I don't know if we would or not. We'll have to look. Oh, what are you doing, dude? What are you doing over here? This is not where you're supposed to be. Climbing the fence over there. You need a wider sprayer just so we can do this in 2 passes instead of 3. Actually, I don't think it's that much to buy the wider sprayer, actually. I think it's only a couple $1,000. Actually, had a pretty long day. I had a bit of migraine earlier, so took a little bit of a nap, and that I don't know, that just always makes me tired for the rest of the day. Even though it was kind of I needed to have the nap just to kind of function. Still made me a little bit tired. But it also means I'm probably going to be up late tonight because I've already taken a nap. Alright, that is done. Let's get over to our sorghum fields now. Still gotta get the weeding done. At some point, it wouldn't be a bad idea to get a second sprayer as well, just so we can do both at the same time. But again, priorities, it's not super critical right now, but just one of those nice to haves. Do we still have fertilizer over here? Got herbicide and fertilizer. Okay, we got both. Good. Good, good, good. Get this done, then we'll move on. But I guess the next big thing for us is mowing and then harvesting the sorghum. If it wasn't for the fact that I am eventually going to split up the crops on these two fields, I actually would consider joining these together to be one ginormous field. But we will do separate crops at some point. Oh, did I not? How did I miss that? I have no idea how I missed that little strip. Oh well. Not the end of the world, but it is a little weird. Yeah, I have no idea how I missed that. Oh well. I apparently have 4 viewers on both YouTube and Twitch. That's a little unusual. Same number of people. What if it's the same people? I'm sorry, I'm being silly now. Wait, did I not turn on the worker? Oh, I must not have turned on the worker. I was like, oh, why are you veering off course a little bit? It was a little strange. Still want to get this 49 field. I know I keep talking about it, but it is on the checklist. I think the bakery first. I mean, we don't need 49 until we run out of space elsewhere. More than likely, 49 will be where I put the cows. So until we get to the cows, we don't need 49. So bakery first, followed by what? I don't know. I'm really trying to figure out the best order to do some things here. We already talked about the sugar facility, right? I think that's pretty expensive. It's only 80, which is actually cheaper than the grain mill. But all the equipment that goes into sugar is quite expensive. I think that's the big problem. So like I said, bakery first for sure, because we can build up from that. I'm trying to decide between sugar first or cows. I think we've got to go sugar first. Cows are so expensive. And there's a lot of equipment that goes to cows as well, right? The TMR mixer, the milk trailer, the things like that. If we decide to do anything with the slurry or the manure, that's another expense. Although we probably won't, but it, you know, it technically is another expense. I mean, I think the cows themselves cost Because we'll probably only get the 45 cows. We don't need more than that. The cows themselves will cost us, what? About 50,000 bucks by themselves, so... And then another 250 grand for the cow pen, the cow barn. Yeah, 254 will go with that one. Yep. Yep. It's a lot. I mean, I told myself I wasn't going to do any loans or anything like that for this save, but I think a middle ground is what is needed. Because I took too many loans in the first version of Elmcreek, which is why I wanted to try to do this without any loans. But I think the fastest way to make money is find a good middle ground where you're still taking loans, but you're only taking just enough loans that you can cover entirely, and you know, and then some with your profits, right? And so I think that's the big balance point that I missed out the first time through on Elmcreek. Plus, probably just leasing more equipment instead of buying it. But again, I'm trying to do this with 0 monthly expenditure, so no loans, no leases, which might actually slow it down even more than the first one, but I think we'll still be pretty fast, actually. That first one went a long ways, right? We went 100 and some odd episodes on that one, so it was very, very long. I think we're pretty far away from 100 episode pluses right now, aren't we? This is what, number 14? And each stream is about 6 episodes worth of content. Maybe a little bit less, actually, because I used to skip ahead a bit. But even at 6, we're at 6. We're about 70 something, right? So we're still pretty far along in that context. We don't have a huge income right now, although to be fair, I mean, if we just look at, I mean, the eggs themselves is what, 30K a year, something like that, 40K a year maybe. If we just look at the flour, that's another 20K there, so that's 60. And then of course the silage that we're selling is about another, what, 15, 20, something like that. I don't remember. So we might be just a little bit. Well, actually, once you count in the strawberries and the little solar panel I put up for no reason, but just so we could have it, we're probably around 100K a year right now, which is not a lot, but it's not nothing. Still, 100K a year to get enough for the cows. That's a few years down the road, isn't it? At that rate. Gotta spend money to make money. I mean, that's life, isn't it? I mean, really? That's kind of life. How much do we make off the strawberries right now? Wrong menu. We make... Well, I make about $2,000 a month right now. Interesting. I mean, we could always get more strawberries if we want to just kind of increase that, but I don't know if that's worth it or not. Just trying to think of other ways to be more efficient here. Oh, I don't think we're going to have enough fertilizer for this last strip. I think we'll barely have enough. You got planted over there, sir? You have wheat. Nice. That field was a reasonable price. If that field was the price of some of the ones off of Zelanka, I probably would buy it because it would be worth harvesting that wheat for a little bit more flour. But the fields on this map are a bit more expensive. See you later, Ghosty. Have a good evening, and hopefully your streams to tomorrow go very well for you. Alright, let's go get our herbicide done, and then we're ready to move to another month. Yep, thank you. Okay. There's not a really good angle to see the weeds. I mean, I can kind of see them at like almost ground level, barely. Well, I can't really see the weeds themselves, but I can see the dead weeds, right? I can see it after we kill them. But like, it's really hard to, I mean, there's a little bit of a tiny color variation. Otherwise, it's so hard to see on this particular crop for sure. Which is why I tend to let the worker do the weeds for sure. They can see them apparently. They got magic vision. Is there anything that we have that we just don't need? I don't think so, right? We need all this stuff. Yeah. There's really nothing to get money back from to be able to get some other equipment or better equipment. I forgot these were over here. The pig on the water trailer. I don't remember those being over there. I mean, I'm sure I picked them up on my one of my previous saves, but I do not remember them. So one of the reasons why I like the Zelanka save right now is because it's very easy for me to math out exactly how much money we can make versus how much of a loan I can get to justify getting more, you know, whatever the next thing might be. I like that save's gone very, very well for us so far. Still don't know how I missed that line. I really don't understand. It's whatever, but it's a little weird. I'm sure I could go back and watch the recording and be like, oh, that's how I missed it. Now I see how I missed it. You know what just occurred to me? That I don't have full credit for these. Partly because I did not direct drill the grass. But on my Zelanka run, I actually used a normal direct drill seeder to put the grass down. And since you only have to put the grass down once, it counts the whole time. Because I've actually got my grass fields up to 100% on Zelanka. I hadn't thought about the fact that I was missing on a big chunk of stuff here because of that. Oh well. Plus the fact that I put buildings here means that these are going to be permanently stuck at 79, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. What is our percentage right now? I mean, we're at 13%. That's we're only missing 2%. It's not that bad. All right, so chickens are good. Water should be good as well. Water's still good. Probably load up some eggs real quick. All right, a couple more passes and we'll be done with the weeds. How fast does the sprayer normally go? Is it slower because it's on that tractor? No, it normally goes 7 miles an hour, so never mind. That is the right speed. Actually, it's going 1 mile an hour faster right now. Yeah, so the only way we could really speed up the spraying right now would be to get the extended arms. You know, while we're doing this, I'm just going to fast forward a little bit. Kind of curious if we get any other good equipment on the used lot here before end of day. Really, really would like a better seeder. Even if it would slow down some of the rest of our stuff, it would speed up that portion so much, and I think it would make up for itself very quickly. I don't think we're going to get new used equipment, though. Great demand at the animal dealer. For what? Straw, of all things. Alright, good for it. Yeah, I don't think we're getting used equipment. That's alright. It was worth a shot. Just gotta keep my eyes open. Yeah, it might be worth taking this sprayer back over to the shop and getting the extended arms the next time we kind of head that way. How much would it cost us to get that? The base sprayer is $26.5. I mean, it's a chunk of money to go a little bit bigger, right? But we can almost double the width for what is that? 15,000 bucks? 14.5? Yeah. Yeah, because if we can double the speed of some of these operations, because we have no debt, we're just able to cycle through the harvest faster, right? When you're dealing with debt, you want to be... Your efficiency comes from probably just smaller equipment and just dealing with the fact that it's going to take longer. And it just is what it is, right? You gotta cut your, count your pennies wherever you can. So we would go with something this size. Yeah, it might take twice as long, but the value that we get for the harvest is kind of like, we got to go, we can't just keep fast forwarding because we keep paying the debt, or the leases or whatever. But since we have zero debt, like if we can make the yearly cycle faster, then yeah, it might take us three harvests to make that money back. But those 3 harvests we can get done in, half the time. Then it just speeds up the per hour income, I guess is what I'm getting at. So I think there's 2 ways to look at it. When you're in debt in the game, you want to increase your per year income, but when you have no debt, it's better to increase your per hour income from a gameplay standpoint. It's part of the reason why I got the second tractor, and I was okay with that because it does increase part of it. Now again, the second tractor is useless right now, but it does help us at other times. Yeah, I think better equipment is just... It will greatly speed up the efficiency of what I'm doing a lot more, I think. I think the harvester we have is pretty good. I forget how wide... I mean, there are much wider harvesters, to be fair. Much wider. There's actually harvesters that are triple that width. All right, got that done. We are good on the herbicide. Yeah, next time we go repair, we'll take this back over there and get it. Actually, probably just the next time we need to spray, we'll take this over there and get it increased in size. Actually, we have 2 ways to handle the seeding problem. We can either get a wider seeder that's twice as wide, or we can get the same seeder and get a second one. It's about the same price though, right? If we got a wider seeder for on sale that's used, it would ultimately be probably cheaper that way, actually. All right, spraying is done. Eggs are picked up. Water's okay. Grass is okay. Next thing for us is June. Nothing in June. Next thing would be mowing in July, I believe. Yep. All right. Well, let's go. I don't know if we're gonna get the bakery this stream or not. Then I was hoping we would, but don't know if we're gonna quite get there. It did just occur to me that we will be dropping off the next batch of grain before we've actually sold the flour out of here. All right, got 1 more month till we need to mow. Nothing to do on the sorghum field at the moment. All right, well, let's go. Oh, hey, Jordan, how's it going? I actually do class gear a lot sometimes. There's been a few runs that I've had the class gear in it. It's pretty cool. Obviously, we've got the harvester at the moment. I mean, it's an older harvester, but it is Claas. But I do like some of the tractors and things like that. What's the great demand at the fast food restaurant at the moment? Please be eggs. Please be eggs. No. It would be cool if it was eggs. What is it? I have no idea what it would be. No idea. I wish you had told us better, an easier format. Honey. Honey's in great demand. Oh, okay. Well, we're not doing honey, and there's no reason for us to ever do honey on this to save. Getting a better mower setup would also be nice, but again, everything costs money. I think that's kind of the point, though, isn't it? Everything costs money. Say something obvious. Really, game? I was expecting another cultivator or plow over here. This is a very strange collection of used equipment. Like 4 things that do very similar action. I mean, they're different, but they do similar things. We would probably use them the same way. Very strange. Unexpected. I mean, that cultivator is... It's not amazing, but it's better than what we got currently. But yeah, there's just no reason for us to get any of this stuff. And then, of course, the tipper back here. Oh, well. How much is the... there was a better mower that I was looking at. That I thought about trying to get. I've never actually used it, but I thought it might be a little bit wider and a little bit better. There it is. I was like, where's mowers? I was blind for a second. Because the one we got right now is 4.4 meters. I was looking at this one. It's almost double. It's not quite double, but it's almost double. I've never tried that one before. It's very expensive, though, compared to some of these other ones. Yeah, I mean, it'd be better for us just to go with like a setup like this. These two right here. That's only 30,000 bucks. That would be a reasonably good setup. It's actually very cheap, those two, come to think of it, compared to some of the other options of a similar variety. I mean, with the, since the fact that we only have the one grass field right now, it's less urgent to get a better mower. Compared to some of the other time-saving equipment. I was looking at something and totally missed my turn there. And I can't drive today. Alright, so we're up to 20,000 eggs. Which is some decent money. We're getting there. All right, that's all our sorghum. Is that enough for the chickens? Oh yeah, that should be good. We got 2 more months till we mow or till we harvest. Prefer the Pottinger mower. Yeah. The Pottinger one, I've used this one before. But again, this one's this back part is, I mean, it's wider. Don't get me wrong. It's what, 1.7 meters wider? But is 1.7 meters worth triple the price? I don't know if 1.7 meters is worth triple the price. That's a big jump from this one, to be honest. Now, obviously modded. This one back here is probably one of the best ones because, at least initially, you can get it without the windrower attachment, and then you could add that on later, and that's obviously a pretty good price there. But that's obviously modded. Yeah, I've never used this one before. This one's very expensive. It is the widest of all of them, though. But yeah, I've just never used it. I didn't realize this also had a windrower. But again, I don't know that I would ever pay this much money for especially since it's a pull behind. I'm not a huge fan of the pull behind mowers. I like the ones that attach to the back. Just feels like it's more maneuverable or more flexible, or I don't know, whatever. Oh yeah. No, I definitely would never get. I would never just get this, because that would leave the road down the middle. You have to get the full kit to make that worthwhile for sure. But I'm assuming this one is. Does it go all the way across, or does this need a front bit too? It looks like this would go all the way across, but maybe I'm just looking at it wrong. That's the reason I was curious about trying that one, because it looks like it wouldn't leave a gap or anything like that. Yeah, I don't know. But at the end of the day, if I'm looking at that one, then I will just get these two. It's just cheaper. There's just no reason to go for this one if these two are cheaper. All right, almost done with the mowing, and then we will be able to fast forward and do the harvest. We'll definitely get the harvest done in this episode. I think we can still get the bakery. We got an hour left. I think we can still get the bakery. I think my least favorite mower is this one. I hate this one because not only is it a pull behind, but it's an offset pull behind. It's so annoying. I am not I mean, it's fine. It works, but I mean, if I had to choose between these two, I'm going to go 0.4 meters wider, have something that attaches to the back, and is cheaper. It's just a better setup. Oh, you just put it on the front? Oh, see, I didn't know if it was on the front or the back. It looked like it could go either direction, but I wasn't sure. You need to wait. Yeah, that makes sense. All right, mowing is done. Very low on fuel, very low on repairs. We will need to do both of those very soon. All right, that is that. Let's fast forward and get ready to harvest. Right? I don't know why my brain keeps confusing things. Yes, 1 more month to harvest. All right, let's go get it done. Do you really have wheat sitting there as well? Yeah. Both these fields are sitting on wheat right now. Wow. It's rubbing in my face that I wish I could buy those fields. Actually, it looks like that far one might already be harvested. It is already harvested. Just as a reminder, because I always forget. How much are these again? 56, and this one's what? 80? 90. Yeah, it's just, there's not enough crop on there to justify buying it right now. Alright, you're doing that. Let's get you to go grab, let's go pick up some eggs. We'll get some water, and then we'll be ready to unload the harvester. Anything on here? Nope. I mean, we do want to do sugar beets at some point. It's a little soon for that. I wish that had showed up a little later. It would say, not, you know, but whatever. Sugar beets might, I mean, I was thinking about doing sugar cane as a change of pace, but if I got a used piece of equipment for sugar beet harvesting, I probably would just go for that instead. What's the sugar sell for again compared to some of the other crop stuff? It's very cheap. Sugar is very, very low, but I think you get a lot out of it, right? Like a full field of sugar beets, I think gets you a very large amount of sugar processed at the end. But sugar's just not meant to be sold. You're supposed to use that for making other things that do sell for more. I mean, it does make sense. Why would sugar be that much more expensive than flour? It does make some sense that they're not, neither one of those is very expensive. Wow, we got sorghum fields over here too. Man, just rub it into my face, huh? We're making cakes. So everything that needs to be put together for cakes. So flour, strawberries, sugar eventually, and then of course cows for the oh, and eggs. I talked about eggs, and then cows for the do you need both milk and butter, or just butter? I don't remember actually. But yeah, whatever we need for the cows that we need the dairy stuff for, and definitely butter. I just can't remember if the milk is included or not in the cakes. So anything that goes into cakes is what we're looking for, and then once we can make some cakes, then we will consider this run a success. So we're, halfway there on the inputs, sort of. We got the strawberries, we got the eggs, and we got the flour. But that's the easy half. We've got to do the hard half now, the expensive half. Cakes do sell for a good chunk of money. I mean, I don't know if all the work that goes into them makes them worth doing. I'm only doing them because they require a lot of inputs, which gives you a large variety of things that you have to do. I mean, cows alone take 3 inputs, right? Effectively. Get our grain emptied out. Try not to do products that we're not going to use as part of the cakes, but I'm making an exception for the bread only because the building we will use for the cakes, even if we don't specifically need the bread itself. So by buying the building now and getting bread from that, we get some extra profit from that for something that we were going to get anyway, right? But everything else is stuff that will ultimately kind of go lead into the cakes itself. Just the one on the end. It's just the one on the end. What am I planning on feeding? I'm going to feed the cows TMR. So we'll need the straw, we need the hay, and we'll need the grass or the silage. Yeah, TMR for the cows. Yeah, I mean, that's how I always feed my cows, I guess. I've never done the moving snow part. I mean, I obviously doing the grain stuff and things like that. I do all the time, but never really played around with the snow that much. I meant to harvest the other field first because the other field can go entirely into the bread, and I forgot. That's all right. Really, we just need to put about 30,000 liters in here, I think, or maybe a little bit less than that, because we had enough last time, right? So how much flour do we have right now? We have 29,751. Because whatever we put in here last time was plenty. 29,751 divided by 16 times 15. So we need about 27,000 liters, and maybe 28,000 liters of sorghum. Okay. And then the rest can go for the chickens. All right, we'll get that turned back on. I mean, it's going to cap out here in a moment, but that's okay. We'll load up some flour here in a bit. We could sell the eggs we have right now. And go ahead and get the bakery. It is an option. Because we have plenty of eggs to sell to get the bakery right now. It's just not a great price. But is the price that we would gain from making the bread now worth it? It might be. How much will the eggs go up next month? It's not much, really, at all. They're actually going to go down in price even more. Is it worth taking a hit on the eggs? Because the bread will be... Okay, so here's just what I'm thinking. I mean, we could always just store the flour off to the side and then just be ready to put it in for bread later. That's always an option. Yeah, I think we wait. I don't think we have to rush it. Oh, cool. Snow melter to give water for your greenhouse. That's actually pretty cool. I hadn't thought about that. Is that a mod that you have to be able to do the snow melting, or is that base game? Again, I've never done anything with the snow, so I actually don't know if there's anything base game related to that. The thing about getting the bakery now, though, is that if we get the bakery now, it should have time to produce bread before we need to sell it in December. Otherwise, we have to what am I trying to say? We'll have to wait a whole nother year. I see both options as valid options is the problem. Acts as a water storage. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Yeah, we could wait. I mean, it's not going to hurt us to wait. Show a little bit of patience. All right, well then on that note, what we are going to do then is load up the flour. Get it out of the factory so that we can start making some more. Factory, go ahead. I got to do this fast. Restoring. Just want to make sure I wasn't going to sell it accidentally. Oh, really? You can only do one layer. A little strange. Oh, you're gonna... That was dumb. I was trying to unload to the right and just load from the left, but that was just me being dumb for a second. I literally, as soon as I hit the button, I realized what I did, and I was like, oh, I can't stop it now. It's whatever. All right, that one's last little thing over there is not going to hurt anything. You can go back to distributing, and yeah, we're good. All right, well, have fun. Have fun moving some bales. Appreciate you dropping by. And like you said, you're going to be lurking for a bit, so thanks for the views. Do we need to buy the... yeah, we do. Really don't want to spend money on this. I don't have much choice. We need it. I'll wait till this gets harvested, and then we'll purchase that one as well. There's really not much for us to do right now. It's kind of waiting on the harvest, and then next month we will be... or not next month. 2 more months until we mow our grass again. Actually, you know what? We have not fertilized, have we? We have not. All right, that is something we can do. Although I was going to go ahead and increase the size of the sprayer at this point. Which, if we're going to wait for the bread anyway, then we will go ahead and do that. Because by the time we sell the full batch of eggs, we'll have plenty of money. Technically, we could put a bigger header on our harvester. Speed things up that way. And we can't go crazy big because it just won't be able to move. It won't be able to have the horsepower. But I think we can put a little bit bigger on that one without major issues. $4,000 just to repair you. Oof. All right, go ahead and make this as big as we can get it, because at this point, why not? It'll just speed everything up nicely. And we don't have to pay for the weed spot spraying again, so that's good. Probably need a front weight on this, but our other tractor at least has a front weight, so that will work. Although I think this one will be fine. It might not be once we load it up with with actual liquid. Gonna start tipping back. You might be all right. We didn't put a full load in it, but it's got some in there for now. All right, let's go grab our... You're almost full. You are full. It's so much wider. I mean, I know it is basically twice as wide, but it is, or just under twice as wide, but it's funny. It's almost hilarious how wide it is now. I might have been able to get by with the one in the middle, actually, come to think of it. But we got this one now. It's all good. Something that I just thought of. I mean, I normally like to get the seeders that do the cultivating at the same time. But is there like just a really cheap seeder that doesn't cultivate, that is you know, faster and around the same price? I don't think so, right? Yeah, I just don't think we're going to find anything that's around that price that is any wider, right? There's just no... I mean, that one's not bad. But that one's the cedar attached to it, so that's actually going to be more expensive than what it looks like at first. And the reason I'm saying that is because I normally like to get the ones with cultivators, right? But like this one's twice as wide. You'd have to get the cedar on the front, but it's twice as wide. Doesn't do cultivating. I mean, and the reason I'm thinking that route is because we have an extra tractor that could always cultivate. We could even be cultivating right now, right? We don't have to wait for... Oh, there we go. That's another decent combo. But again, you need the cedar on the front. So once you add the cedar on the front, you're basically at the price of the one with the cultivator. Not much under it, at least. I mean, that one's 4 meters, but that's not much. That's not much better. So there's just really not another option that's any better, and from what I can see. Oh, sorry, buddy. My bad. Let me get out of your way. Yeah, because we could be cultivating right now. We don't have to wait for seed time if it was a cheaper, faster option, right? But it's just not. There's just no value there at the moment. We might not get the bakery after all, because this harvesting is going to take a good chunk of time here. I was going to look at the headers. Like, I know it's going to tell me which one this one can currently use, but I know that the headers are effectively universal. So really what it comes down to is how much horsepower can this thing, like, how much horsepower do you need to push a better header? I know that this thing can't push a very big header, because I've tried actually that on the Zelonka save. And this thing's got more horsepower than the Kloss tractor that we're running right now, which tells me that it's very possible that this thing's not going to be able to push a very big header. It might be able to push a bigger header, but not very big. Right now we're at 6, or we're at 5 meters. It's possible it could push the 7 meter one. But that's so much more expensive, right? Yeah. These other ones are just starting to get kind of in the crazy range of expensive. I don't mind spending twice the money for double the speed, but 4 times the money for double the speed is a little bit harder to swallow. If we had to mow next month, I would actually just fast forward now, and we would finish the harvest next month because we've got an extra month to harvest. But we're not going to be mowing again until October. Guess we might as well get you filled up on fuel and things repaired up. What is Elton? I'm going to have to look that up. I'm assuming something farming related. I'm not familiar with that. Is that a brand that we have? No. I don't know. I'll have to go look it up. It's going to be a trap. It's going to be something bad. They're going to steal my information. I'm just kidding. Elton. Oh. It's like clothing, or like boots and things. Huh. Okay. Okay. Oh, is that under here? Where is it? Is it in here? Yep. There's a Melton right there. That makes sense. I mean, kind of like them. I mean, they're actually kind of okay looking boots and things. Yeah, I mean, I'd wear some of these. Anyway, sorry, random distraction. I can't help myself sometimes. Is there anything we can customize on this one? Oh, sorry, button. Customize. I think there is, right? I mean, we can increase the front weight, but there's no... I don't think there's any reason to do that. I don't care about the beacon. Yeah, okay. Nothing that I really care about. Oh, wow. I've never seen that one up there. The little toy on top of the roof there. I don't think I've ever seen that one. That's funny. I've been over here many times. How have I never seen that? I have no idea. let you unload it so you keep going. Yeah, we're barely going to get this harvest done for it into the stream, but doesn't mean we'll be able to buy the bakery first thing next week. In theory. Yeah, we wasted an hour and a half just doing the seeding. I have to speed that process up somehow. That might even be more important than the bakery. And again, normally I wouldn't care about the time. Like when I'm doing my offline recordings, I don't care if it takes an hour and a half, because I just let it happen and I go watch a movie. And then you guys don't suffer for the hour and a half. You get to see it shortcutted into about 5-minute max. But for the stream, it's like, oh my goodness, this is taking forever. I mean, nobody's complained about it, but I personally would like the pacing to go a little bit quicker. All right, how much do we got now? Because I need to make sure I save enough for the chickens. I think we'll have one more load after this. About. Not a full load, maybe. I'm tempted to put a full load in there just because. How much do the chickens have right now? Because the chickens have a full load. Yeah. We gotta have basically we have to have a trailer load full and a harvester full. Yeah. Because that's how much we're going to need for the chickens for the full year. Do we know how much we got off of it last year? Yield. I mean, that's the 2 years worth of yield though, right? Or is it 3? Whatever, how many years we've done this. So that's not really accurate, unfortunately. Yeah, okay. Man, I could have reset it to get a better count, but that's all right. Oh, we did finish this, so we can might as well go ahead and buy the soil information for these. We don't have a lot of money, but I'd like to get those done. This one we can hold off for a little bit. We're very low on money, but the good thing about not having debt or having leases is that we can literally go to 0 and it's not going to cause a problem. I think we could put another full trailer load into the flour mill and still have enough for the chickens. But I could be wrong. It's an estimate. All right, fine. I will take over. I was hoping I could find enough other things to do that I could just let the worker do this, but at this point it's like whatever. We'll take over. Give me something to do. Just realized I did not have dinner today. Kind of got busy and then stream time kind of snuck up on me and I was like, oh, I gotta go stream. And then, yeah, I'll have to eat after this. I was like, why am I feeling so hungry? Probably because I didn't eat. I think those go kind of hand in hand. Yeah, I think we're gonna risk putting another full load into the bakery or to the grain mill here. I say that. I'm trying to do the math because we need 22,000 liters for the chickens. No, we really can't risk a full load, can we? Oh well. All right, it's okay. The grain mill holds so much sorghum. It would hold what? Probably 250,000 liters at least. All right, so we just want to drop off about 3,000 liters. Not quite half of this. Close enough. Yep, that should be pretty good. I just don't remember how much this trailer actually holds. I think it's like 8,000 something. Or did I turn off the load limits? I can't remember if I turned off the load limits. I might have done that. Hey, how's it going, Ethan? Glad you could join. Wow. That is some dedication. I appreciate that. That's a lot of farming simulator videos. That's wow. Don't get me wrong. I was there. I played them all, but that is a huge commitment to watch them all. That's a lot of hours. I do appreciate it though. All right, you're good there. The rest of it should fit in the harvester at this point. Wow, man. I mean, especially the Elmcreek, the original Elmcreek run, right? That was 170, 169 episodes? I can't remember. I could probably look it up on my YouTube app here. I mean, you guys know. I mean, you guys know better than I do how many episodes that was. It's been a few cycles. I've slept a couple times since then. Elmcreek. I did 50 episodes of the pigs. Forgot that one went, you know, a decent amount. 169, exactly. Yeah, I thought that was accurate. I like how the last episode has more views than the 5 episodes before that combined. I guess people just jumped to the final episode. Oh, wow. I forgot the tribute run had 147 episodes by itself. Wow. I don't remember doing that many. That's insane. Wow. Yeah, I got a lot of farm sim videos up there, don't I? Man. I have played some Farm Simulator, guys. A couple times. 1 or 2 hours of Farm Simulator, something like that. Sorry, I'm answering a text message. I was like, you know what? We're waiting on the guy to finish anyway, harvesting, so we'll respond to a text message real quick. All right, you got. Hurry up, dude. Like, seriously. Like, get faster. I mean, I realize he could be faster if I put down the little... What is it? The little building thingamajigger. The tool? No. What's that under? Sheds? Yeah. I still don't know how much faster this thing drives with this. I don't have enough money to put it on top of my chicken coop. That seems silly. Can I put it on top of here? Okay, now I'm just being ridiculous. I apologize. The game is great. That is true. This is a good game. A very, very good game. All right. I'll take over. I'm bored. I need something to do. I need to find the perfect balance of loan versus lease versus, you know, just income to kind of keep things rolling. Like, what is the perfect balance? I mean, it really all comes down to how much money you make per year on the stuff that you're doing, but Has my memory gotten better? I would say, seeing as my memory issues were directly tied to my propensity for having migraines, I would say not as better as I would like. I mean, I am getting less migraines these days than I used to. But it's still not great. For example, I've had a migraine today. I mean, I'm okay now. I took some medicine. Medicine doesn't get rid of them completely, unfortunately, but it at least cuts off the edge a little bit. It's terrible, too. My memory used to be, like, rock solid, too. It is humbling to start having issues, health-related issues, as you get older. Although I don't know that my migraines are specifically a result of my age. I think those are just something that kind of is what it is. Did I not hit the cruise control? Apparently not. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear about your neck. That is rough. Why am I getting a phone call? I don't want no phone calls right now. No, thank you. No phone calls from me, please. I usually have my phone muted, so I don't know why. I must have turned it up. I think I turned it up while I was sleeping earlier so that I could hear in case my family called. All right. And that is how we do that. Oh, that was trippy. I just looked at the clock in game, and it's like only 1 hour difference from my clock in real life. I mean, it's AM instead of PM, but it's like, I looked at my clock in real life, it says 9:54, and then I looked at the one in game and it said 8:54. I was like, wait a minute. What? It kind of threw me off for a second. It's like, since when was there a game clock? That's not what it is. I actually kind of want to do a save at some point where I just do all of the animals, right? I have the chickens, I have the, I'm sorry, I meant to leave you on. You know, chickens, sheep, pigs, cows, and horses, all of them. I guess technically if I was going to do all the animals, I would need to do bees as well, but only because they're in the animal category, but that's not really kind of the vibe I was going for. All right, well, that's that. 4 minutes left. What can we do in 4 minutes? We can fast forward and start the mowing, I guess. Not really much else to do. So let's go. Oh, let's check the used lot real quick. I already looked at it. That's right. Yeah, that's not that time. Oh, that's the game time. Yeah. Alrighty, so September. Anything we need to do right this second? So we're almost done making the next batch of flour. Water looks okay. Chickens are fine. Eggs are not over full. We're still waiting until November, correct, for the eggs? Yep, November for the eggs. I think we fast forward immediately and get ready for our mowing. Oh, before we do that. Oh, that's a nice cultivator. That's a giant enormous cultivator. I mean, it's more than we would ever need, but it's a nice one. Here's a question. Do you ever use auger wagons? Because I don't think I've ever used an auger wagon. Like what purpose in the context of the game, at least? I mean, I get auger wagons have their purpose, but what purpose in the context of a game would an auger wagon use for you? Like, I don't think I've ever even gone to this category. I mean, there's some pretty cool. I mean, look at this thing. Look at this thing. That thing is insane. That is absolutely ridiculous. Oh my goodness. But like, there's just no, what purpose would they serve in the context of the game itself? It's me. I don't have a use for them. So your clock's at 8:54. So my game clock was accurate with what you had. That's funny. I mean, some games do have internal clocks, so it's not completely outside the realm of possibility. Plus, I added that new mod that gives me more information on the header, so I can see the year and the temperature and stuff like that. So I thought maybe it was part of that mod for a second. I was like, wait a minute. Alrighty, we got the stuff ready to mow. I probably need to feed the chickens again. Let me get them taken care of real quick before I forget. Actually, I'm not even sure if I'm going to start mowing yet. I'll probably just get this taken care of and get the let's go pick up the eggs. Yeah, we gotta get some eggs real quick. And then we'll probably save the mowing for next week. Mostly because if I start the mowing, I'm going to want to finish it. And I want to go eat. So I'm going to go ahead and just pick up these eggs and go make myself some dinner here in a bit. All right, cool. Well, there we go. I mean, we didn't quite get to the bakery. I could have gotten the bakery if I'd sowed the eggs, but I decided not to. I think that was the right decision because we will be able to get the bakery literally in 1 month, right? Will we sell enough? Actually, we might not quite get it next month. We'll have 40. Oh, it's going to be close. I think we'll be able to get the bakery because I don't think this counts the extra value from the precision farming. So I think we'll have just enough money to get the bakery. And we've got $40,000 of flour sitting there. That's crazy. That's going to be some good bread. Yeah, looks good. Not that one. The one. And the chaser unloads into the mother bin. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, no, it makes sense that this one you'd park on the edge of the field for sure. Because that, yeah, this makes perfect sense. But even then, like, I guess what it becomes is a storage place on the side of a field that just holds a massive amount of, I mean, it's a portable silo at that point, right? It's a portable silo that you sit on the side of the field. You can fill it up, and then you can just have your trucks that have obviously much smaller capacity just come by and fill up, you know, and haul it to the market or wherever they got to go, you know, at a much slower pace or something like that. But I mean, so I get how it's used in real life, but I don't know. In the context of the video game, I just don't know if I would ever use something like this, even though it is very cool. Truth be told, I need to get one of these one day and find a reason to use it just for one time. All right, we're going to go ahead and put a cut in there. We are literally at 10:01. I just turned into a pumpkin. And like I said, I didn't quite as much done in this stream as I would have liked. I really need to fix our seeder problem because that's the thing that takes the longest right now. It's an hour and a half, I think, to seed both things. And I really need to speed that up just so we can get more done in the context of a single live stream. So we'll figure out how to do that. And other than that, I appreciate everybody joining out and all the communication. It was fun. Hopefully you guys had fun as well. And if you're watching the VOD after the fact, I would appreciate a like or a comment or anything of the above. I definitely read all the comments. So thank you, everybody. I think that's it. May God bless you. And I hope you join me again next time.